Hello, this is Mrs. Allen, and I've gathered a bunch of things here together, and I've never done this before, but I'm pretty excited. So today I'm using stuff from around my house. I actually wanted to use crayons. I couldn't find any. I'm gonna have to find some crayons somewhere, but I did grab some colored pencils. You might want to use them. So some crayons would actually be better for this, I think, but if you have colored pencils, that would work. Maybe a pencil you might want to use, scissors, glue, and some paper, and some kind of cardboard. Gotta love Pop-Tarts, but actually this is gonna have to be a small one because my Pop-Tart box is small, but a cereal box would work great, and this actually is a perfect thickness for what we're gonna do today. So today we're going to make something that's called a collagraph. And what I would recommend is just watching me go through the steps and then get the idea and then give it a try. So I just cut along the slit here, and now I have actually 4 pieces of cardboard that I could use to do a lot of different projects. So I'm just gonna cut naturally on the lines. You can make it any size you want. This has a bump on it, so I'm gonna use that for my pieces, I think. I wanna start with a solid piece. So I'm just gonna make a mini collagraph. So a collagraph is a way to actually do a print. And it's gonna actually remind some of you of a collage. We've done collages before where we cut papers and put them together to make a picture. Now in this case, the color doesn't matter because we're gonna do something else with it. So I'm gonna use these little tabs. I'm gonna use this as my background, and I'm just gonna cut some shapes. So I think I'm wishing it would be more like spring. So I'm gonna make a little spring design. I'm gonna cut some slits like this. Now, if you wanna draw and then cut, you can do that. So I'm thinking these might be like little stems. It doesn't really matter what side shows. And I think I'm gonna make kind of a U shape. These are kind of small. With a zigzag, maybe make a little flower. Maybe this flower will be a little different. I can't wait till it gets warmer out and we can spend more time outside in the sunshine. I am ready for spring. So maybe I'll make this one go shorter and that one go taller. That seems to fit better. And I feel like I need something in the middle. So you can just keep layering it up. And I always like to cut and lay it out because I like to be able to change my mind. And I think I'm gonna make some little leaves. Oops. And let's see, another leaf here. And you could definitely get way more fancy than this, but this is just to give you the idea of a collagraph. So once you like it, you're gonna go ahead and glue. Hopefully we have glue that works. It's always an issue. Oh, I can hear air, that's a good sign. Now when you glue, you don't want it to be too gloppy. I always shake it down to the tip. Oops, put a little on there. This looks like it's kind of old. Hopefully it'll still work. And I'm gonna put some back here. Can I push that down? It's pushing out a little. I probably could have put a little bit less. Another trick actually is if you put it on and then you could take your finger and just sort of spread it out a little more evenly. And as you know, with glue, you can always just, rub your fingers, it'll come right off. Oops, a little bubble. If you did a bigger one, you could do a lot more details than this. But this will just give you the idea. And what I like about this project is there's a lot of different ways and things that you can do with it, and I'm just gonna show you a few. Almost got it all on there. My last one. No. I really do need to let this dry before I do the next step. So I will be back in a little bit after this dries. Actually, you know what? I'll just make another one while I'm waiting. or sand. These are kind of my experiments. So I'm gonna come back to this one. It's a little bit more dry. So the first thing you can do with your Collagraph is you can do something called a rubbing. I'm gonna keep some of these clear off my area. All right. Now this is where I really wish that I had a crayon, but you know, you just gotta use what you got. So you want this to be really still. You could tape it down. I'm gonna do the hope I can hold it still method, and I'm gonna try to hold it really still. You don't want the paper to move, and you don't want the cardboard plate to move. And then you could just take, and this is where I wish I had a crayon that I took the paper off, where I could just go like this, but I don't. So let's give this a try and see how we do. So you're just gonna kind of rub with this edge of your, oh, look at that, it's working. And as I'm not gonna let it move, holding it really still. Ooh, that's looking awesome. And what I would do is I would do the rubbing, and you could do more than one color, but what I think I'm gonna do, as I'm looking at this, is I think I am going to just kind of add a little pizzazz and color to the picture. So now that I have my rubbing, wow, that looks so awesome. Now I'm gonna save this for later. I could do more rubbings. I could do a lot of other things, but maybe I wanna come in here and just add a little something. Maybe I wanna come in here and blend in. And now that I'm playing with the colored pencils, maybe these are better than the crayons. I don't know. So you could come in and you could color in parts of it. You could add more details. You could add some texture. You could add highlights and shading. So you could have like the dark side of the stem where it's more shadowy, and the light side of the stem, and maybe some veins coming in here. So you could just really have fun with these. And what I think would be really fun is you could make a bunch of these rubbings, and you could turn each one into a card and maybe send it to people that you miss or that you love. I've heard some people are doing little surprise deliveries sometimes for a neighbor staying away, but you know, but mailing would be a great idea. And you could just brighten someone's day and make lots of copies. So one option is to do a rubbing. And then if you want to add extras, you can. Honestly, the rubbing looked pretty cool just by itself. I could still do more to this. So another thing you could do and is a print. So we're gonna just give this a shot and see what happens. So I happen to have some acrylic paint. I got this at Walmart. Really, you know, these are usually $1 or less a piece. Acrylic paint's awesome. You can paint on your shoes or your shirts or rocks or all sorts of things, and it's pretty permanent. The trick is to get enough, but not too much. So I am going to shake her up. Actually, I wonder. All right, I'll go ahead and use this color. So I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm just gonna put a little bit on here. And I'm gonna put a paper under because I think I might get a little messy here. I'm gonna try to keep the mess to my fingertips. So I'm gonna just give a nice smooth, and you gotta work kind of quick with this because it will dry and then the print won't work. So I'm just doing as little on my fingers as possible. All right. And you don't want any globs, and you want it to be kind of smooth and even and quick. So here I go. I'm gonna take my paper and I'm gonna lay it on top. I'm gonna try not to touch it with my dirty finger, and I'm gonna give it a rub. Give it a little massage. So all of your raised parts can show up, hopefully. And you could make lots of different kinds of prints with this. let's take a look. The big reveal. Oh, that's pretty nice. I probably could have even put a little bit more paint. You could print this over and over again. And again, like we did with this, you could come in with markers or colored pencils or some other supply and add a little zip to it. So you've got your Collagraph, right? Which is like an artwork by itself. You have a rubbing you could do a print. And then when this is dry, I could come in with something like maybe oil pastels or something and just turn this into its own little artwork. So that's a lot of bang for your buck for an old Pop-Tart box that was just going to end up in the recycling. So I hope this inspires you to give it a try. Have a great day. So, we're going to call this the Collagraph Challenge. All right, have a great day. And I'd love to see the different ways you did the same template if you do one. Bye-bye.